We now move on to the meat and bones of the meeting, report on outcomes of West of England Combined Authority consultation, and I move to the leader of the council, Mike Bell, to present.
Thank you, Caritas. And I should have said when I introduced my comments earlier, congratulations. It's great to have you in the job. Okay, so this is the West of England Combined Authority expansion consultation and proposal. So the report asks Council to consider the outcome of the consultation report and then to endorse the recommendations moving forward with the devolution proposal. So at its heart, this decision is about North Somerset choosing to shape its own future. Our residents and businesses already live and work across a wider regional economy. People travel to work, study, trade, visit hospitals, use transport links and build supply chains across boundaries that do not stop neatly at the council border. So the question is whether North Somerset is fully represented when decisions about that wider region are made. Membership of WECA gives us a stronger voice, a vote and a direct role in shaping the investment decisions that affect our communities. The consultation, as with all consultations, did not receive an overwhelming response, and I think we've talked previously in council about what more we can do as a council and what WECA can do to encourage stronger community engagement and awareness of our activities. However, the 1,275 consultation responses were received, with 700 of those from North Somerset postcodes, and there was support across the board and from within North Somerset, albeit relatively narrow, for us to progress with membership of WECA and the expansion of WECA. I think it's worth noting that many colleagues and some residents have quoted the last consultation to me for about 10 years about how it sent a clear message that people were not supportive, and we did get around 10 times more people taking part this time than we did last time. So give whatever weight you want to the consultation feedback, but we've clearly made some progress in encouraging people to engage in that process. Obviously, the consultation was advisory, it wasn't a referendum, but I think on balance it does show support for the proposals. The report sets out some of the things that people reflected on for their support. So they talked about the importance of better regional collaboration, stronger transport and infrastructure planning, access to funding and investment, and a stronger voice with government. And I think that membership does give us a better chance of securing improved transport links, access to skills programmes and funding, housing infrastructure, investment in the climate emergency in our environment, and regeneration funding. It also puts us in a much better place to argue for buses and transport networks, as we actually heard from our public speakers earlier, that properly connect people to jobs and in education, and access some of that critical infrastructure funding that we know is going to be so key to deliver our local plan and growth and a sustainable future for our towns and villages. For businesses, we heard from a number of businesses, big and small, about the importance of being part of a larger economic platform with stronger access to regional investment, the skills funding, the growth programmes, and that louder voice in terms of attracting international and national inward investment. Businesses told us time and again that they compete and trade regionally, nationally and internationally, and they want to be on that bigger, wider stage, and for North Somerset to have a strong voice at the table in those conversations. And I think members just need to reflect that when the likes of Business West, the Federation of Small Businesses, Bristol Port, Bristol Airport, Western College, and many others are supportive of this approach, then we need to listen and think about that. It's good for jobs, it's good for skills, and it's good for growth. It's not about giving up North Somerset's identity. One of the things we heard a lot from residents was about, is this a return to Avon? It's a similar geography, and that's where the parallels end. It's not about giving up North Somerset's identity. It's not about recreating Avon. We will still be here. North Somerset will still be here. We will still make local decisions, but we will also have the ability to influence the wider decisions that already affect us, but which at the moment we're not involved in. We also heard through the consultation that residents and businesses were worried about local accountability, about how North Somerset's voice within that wider regional body would be reflected, what it meant for finances, and obviously the risk of increased bureaucracy. And I think it's important that the report isn't dismissing those concerns, but is trying to set out, inspired by some of the ideas that the Chair brought to the previous Council, about how we can take practical steps to respond to them, including strengthening our scrutiny arrangements, regular updates through WECA, better engagement with residents, and a real commitment to ensure that North Somerset's interests and diversity is represented clearly and consistently. We do also have to recognise the wider national context. Government policy under previous governments and this government is moving strongly towards strategic authorities and mayoral-led models, with funding and powers flowing through those structures. We have no choice but to engage with that programme and deal with the world the way it is, and that's the way it is. Membership will give us a formal seat at the table, we'll be part of those processes, and we can try and shape the future of devolution to suit the interests of our community. My view is very clear. Our residents and our businesses are better served by North Somerset being inside the room with a vote, making the case for our communities, rather than outside the room hoping to be heard. And I hope members will support these proposals. We'll get support from our colleagues across the west of England, and the government will take action to bring us into membership of the combined authority, and then hopefully in partnership together we can continue to strengthen our relationships and grow into the future. Thank you.